You know you've got a problem when your neighborhood HOA Karen thinks your mailbox is community property. But this wasn't just annoying. This woman actually stole mail repeatedly. So I decided to teach her a lesson she'd never forget. Legally, safely, but very, very memorably. Let's rewind. Meet Karen. I moved into a quiet neighborhood in rural Georgia about a year ago. I work remotely, keep to myself, and the only real interaction I had with neighbors was a polite wave. That is, until Karen introduced herself. She showed up at my door with a clipboard and an attitude, informing me I was in violation of HOA guidelines because my mailbox wasn't regulation gray. Mind you, it was a standard black USPS box, just mounted on a sturdy wooden post instead of one of those weak aluminum sticks. I told her I had confirmed with the county and USPS that my setup was legal and compliant. That didn't sit well with her. "We'll see about that," she sniffed and stormed off. The missing mail. A few weeks later, I noticed something strange. I was expecting a replacement debit card. Never arrived. Then my Amazon package said delivered, but never showed up. Soon after, a wedding invitation from my cousin showed up torn open, with the RSVP missing. That's when I got suspicious. So I installed a motion-activated trail cam hidden in a birdhouse near the mailbox. 2 days later, I got footage of Karen herself walking up to my mailbox, yanking it open, looking inside, and pocketing the contents. Not once, twice in a week. She wasn't even subtle. She didn't wear gloves. She looked straight at the box like it owed her something. Time for justice, with a twist. Now, I could have gone straight to the police, and I eventually did, but first I wanted to stop the theft right now. So I built something I call the Karen Correction Device. How it works, I installed a battery-powered spark module, similar to what you find in a BBQ igniter, wired it to the metal handle of the mailbox door, connected it to a hidden pressure switch inside the box that only triggers when someone opens it more than 30%, and only when the safety toggle under the post is flipped on manually to prevent any USPS accidents. The result? A harmless but extremely unpleasant zap when someone grabs the handle and yanks it open. It's legal in my state because it doesn't deliver injury. It's no more powerful than a handheld stun toy. It was designed for private property deterrence, and I posted a warning sign on the post. Mailbox protected. Tampering may result in surprises. Karen gets a shock. Next morning, I enabled the system and waited. Sure enough, about 10 a.m., Karen strutted across the street in her tennis skirt, Starbucks cup in hand, and walked straight up to my mailbox. She reached out. Snap! She jumped back, screaming, dropped her drink, and flailed like she just touched a live wire. She ran across the street, shrieking something about lawsuits and electrocution. My Ring camera and the trail cam caught every second. The fallout. Karen called the cops. 2 officers showed up. I calmly explained, showed them the sign, the trail cam footage of repeated mail thefts, and my Spark setup. They looked it over and said, "Well, ma'am, if you hadn't been stealing mail, this wouldn't have happened." She was charged with tampering with mail, theft, and issued a restraining order to stay off my property. The HOA board was furious. Not with me, but with her, because this was the 3rd neighbor she'd harassed. They removed her from her self-appointed compliance officer role. Aftermath. My mail now arrives without issue. Karen avoids eye contact and crosses the street if I'm outside. And the mailbox? Still electrified, still legal, still humming. Sometimes justice doesn't require a courtroom. Just a little voltage and a whole lot of patience. Moral of the story: don't steal from people who know how to wire circuits better than you know how to mind your business.